You have big plans for your life. You think about changing all the time. But what if 5 years from now, your life looks exactly the same? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The people who think the biggest often change the least. And what if your biggest dreams are actually the thing keeping you stuck? You've watched the videos, read the advice, saved the quotes. You know what successful people do. Wake up earlier, work with focus, stay disciplined. You understand all of it. And yet, nothing really changes. Weeks pass, months pass, your plans stay big, but your days look almost the same. So why does knowing the answer still not make you move? You already know what you should be doing. Sleep earlier, wake up on time, start that workout, study properly, apply for that opportunity. You've thought about all of it. In fact, you've planned it. You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll start, and tomorrow feels real. But when tomorrow comes, you delay it just a little. You scroll for a bit, watch one more video. Then the day slips away again. At night you say, tomorrow for sure. And the cycle repeats. The strange part? You're not ignoring the problem. You're engaging with it, watching advice, saving ideas, learning more. It feels like progress. But deep down, you know it's not. You're stuck between what you intend to do and what you actually do. And slowly, it starts to feel personal. And after a while, it gets quiet. Not outside, inside. You stop talking about your plans. You stop getting excited. But the thoughts are still there. That feeling that you should be doing more. Because you know you're capable. You've imagined a better version of your life. And now you have something to compare. The life you could live and the life you're living now. And that gap, it starts to hurt. You think, why am I still here? Why haven't I changed? It's not loud frustration, it's subtle. It shows up at night, in quiet moments, a small weight in your chest, because deep down, you're not confused. You know what to do, and that creates a different kind of guilt. Not the guilt of not knowing, the guilt of knowing and still not doing. And slowly, a fear grows. What if I'm just someone who thinks big, but never acts? Most people think the problem is simple. I'm lazy. I need more discipline. I need motivation. But that's not the real problem. Because people like you're not lacking ambition. You think about your future. You want to improve. You care. That's not laziness. The real problem is more subtle. You've started to confuse thinking about change with making progress. Every time you imagine a better life, it feels like movement. But it's not. It's just the idea of progress, and your brain doesn't fully separate the two. Imagining success can feel almost like achieving it. So you get a small reward without doing anything. And over time, this becomes a trap. So what's actually happening in your brain? Why does thinking feel so good, even when nothing changes? Your brain doesn't just reward action. It rewards anticipation. The moment you imagine a better future, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical linked to motivation. So when you picture success, your brain reacts like something good is happening, not fully, but just enough to feel it. The same thing happens when you plan, or talk about your goals, or watch motivation. Your brain lights up. It gives you a preview of success. It's like your brain is running a simulation. You're playing the idea of success, like a preview. But you never press start on the real game. And here's the problem. You're getting the reward without doing the work. So your brain learns something dangerous. It learns that thinking is enough. And when it comes to action, that feels harder, slower, uncomfortable. So your brain pulls you back into thinking mode. Think of it like this. You're sitting in a car. You press the gas. The engine roars. It gets loud. It feels powerful. For a moment, it feels like you're moving. But then you look outside. Nothing has changed. The car is still in the same place because it's still in park. That's what big thinking feels like. Your mind is racing. Your ideas feel strong. Inside, it feels like progress. But in reality, there's no movement because real progress needs friction, effort, discomfort, action. Without that, it's just noise. Then one day, something clicks. Not loudly, quietly. You realize thinking big is easy, acting is hard. Because action is small, boring, repeating the same thing, even when you don't feel like it. And that's the shift. People who change their lives, they stop chasing inspiration. They stop waiting to feel ready. They focus on something simple. What can I do today? Even if it feels small. Because real progress doesn't feel dramatic. It feels slow, but it's real. So how do you break this pattern? Not with more ideas, with a system. First, shrink the vision. If it feels easy, it's right. Second, replace motivation with systems. Same time, same action. Third, create friction for thinking and ease for action. Make starting take less than 10 seconds. Fourth, measure real movement. If you didn't do it, it doesn't count. Fifth, make consistency the goal. Consistency beats intensity every time because your life changes when your actions repeat. Here's the truth most people don't expect. Real growth feels small. Online, everything looks dramatic. But real life, it's repetitive. Doing the same small thing again and again. It feels slow, sometimes boring. And that's why most people quit, because they expect big results. But real progress compounds quietly, day by day, until one day, it shows. Everyone loves imagining their future self, stronger, more focused, more successful. But very few people build that person. Not in one big moment, in small daily actions. That's the difference. Execution. So here's the challenge. Not tomorrow, today. Pick one thing, one small action, and do it. Because your life doesn't change when you imagine better. It changes when you move, even a little. And the moment you stop thinking big and start acting small, that's when everything begins to change.